Two, one. Welcome back to another
So,
episode of Guided Primal Sutra podcast. We've ended Savage Shaman seminars, though I
hmm
felt like rolling it off of my tongue.
hmm
And we are sharing some Savage Shaman hacks, some ritual hacks, how to properly guide yourself and create a ritual for yourself, whether that's throughout the week, monthly, yearly, and starting to really understand how to use rituals more properly in our day to day. So, what's coming up for you in terms of this topic, Ryan G?
One, what's up, everybody? Two, thank you, Mattis, for the suggestion. Very pragmatic topic to start with.
Right on.
Three, rituals can be very simple. One of my favorite ritual to do is the moment I wake up is to literally go to the toilet, and while doing my business, I'm watching either motivational uh videos or the mind movie you made for me, anything to get me ready.
I just
And
recommended a client to do that actually. Just start your day with Grave Mind and like
yeah,
just play,
Gravemind,
yeah,
what
you
a
know?
shout out to
Yeah,
Gravemind, man. What a and
straight
he's doing
up.
most of this
Great.
for free, by the way. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is I like to jumpstart my engine, whatever it takes. What also I see as more ritualistic is as I've noticed my gut biome affects the way I fight. That's affecting my
Correct.
hormones, that's affecting my etc., you know? And I'm getting older in age. I'm like 30 plus right now. I know I don't look it, but I am. I realize I need to eat the right things, but now eating becomes purposeful. Just like how you can give water an intention with the I ams, etc. I now eat at night. Instead of snacking on sweets, I snack on seeds, on dried fruit, drink lime water or hot water with ginger or mint. They help process this
Right.
faster, and I give it all an intention with one single goal in mind to build something stronger, something meaner.
Yes, exactly. That's perfect. That's a great way to eat that you described it, I think. I think
That's another
rituals
example.
aren't just like rituals aren't just you repeating an action that like the normie modern
Yes.
society would have you believe. It's actually you tapping into like a structured, intentional, energetic pattern that
Mm-hmm.
aligns you with a higher force, aka God. So as
Mm.
Ryan was saying, it made him drop his old paradigm and kind of go into this newness, this novelty. Could you look up the word origin of ritual, Brian?
You
Let's
mean like
get
the
to the
etymology?
root of this. Yep,
Etymology. Was it ritual? Was it?
ritual. Yeah,
Ritual. Okay. Let's see. Latin word ritus, ritalis,
ritualis,
English rite. That's what I'm seeing here.
ritus. So the Roman word ritus is a pre-described way of doing something. Okay, so that's like
Yes,
an order.
it is the correct
Mm,
performance, is what is being said here. It's doing
the
things in the right
correct
way.
performance. Wow, that's a great. Uh, yeah, doing things in the right way is exactly what a ritual is. And the Sanskrit root word rit actually means cosmic order or natural flow. So it's a link to Rit
Yes.
A, which is the universal harmony. So rituals, you're like merging with the divine in a sense. It's like you're doing it for a higher calling, higher, greater cause.
Hmm.
So it isn't a habit, it's like you chiming into universal rhythm.
Universal rhythm, yeah. Is another ritual or mindset, if you want to call it that. Know that you don't need to know how you'll be successful. Know that you will be. Pay your due diligence
Mm,
and it will be fine.
that's great. It's a way of bypassing the ego. Yeah, that's
Well, that's one way. So the way I see it is imagine you have a pool and you can always float, but at some point you need to get out of the pool because the pool closes. You know what
Right.
I mean? And you will
Mhm.
at some point, go to the other side of the pool and then get out. But that's not the point. You're still supposed to pay your due diligence. So whether it's through breaststroke, butterfly,
Yeah.
etc.
It's almost like
Swim.
spiritual muscle memory, right? Like
What do you mean?
repeated practices that strengthen your connection to presence flow, certain energy patterns, deities. So if you think of a ritual, like let's say simply lighting a candle with intention is a ritual. Meditating at sunrise can also be considered a ritual. Taking a deep breath before making an important decision is also a ritual.
Ah, yeah. Ah, yeah. Oh, remember the time we got stopped in New Zealand?
But the
So
cops,
this, yeah, I
yeah, I do
remember we
remember
were playing
twice.
like twice, God damn it. But the second time I was more prepared.
Yeah, share
Um,
that story. That's funny for the
so
audience, I
in
think.
New Zealand, one thing you need to realize is, and it is nothing against New Zealand, please. I get
This
it.
was our
Each part
last
of this,
event, by the way, guys. Yeah,
yeah,
our last spiritual retreat.
and yeah. Sumit Uncle Makara decides it's a good time to play Valhalla's Calling Me. I forgot who the original band was, but that music kind of hypes me up. And
That,
there's a
yeah,
voice in my head saying, drive cautiously and don't get hyped up just yet. But I wasn't really listening, of course. I figured, I'm not expecting any cops. Whatever, whatever. And I should have known better. I should have known better because it was confusing when we had like 100 meters between the 50 kilometers mark and the 100 kilometer mark, and I was like, oh
they're
well,
sneaky, man. They're just like waiting there, like in the
they
side,
was
like
waiting right around the fucking corner, bro.
I swear.
And I was
And we're
shocked
playing like
because it
Viking music hella loud as we're speaking to him too. So he's like
right.
completely in our trance. Yeah.
So I am speeding up, right? And the cop is behind me with flashlight, and I realize, oh, I think it might be for me. So I pull over, stop, and just start mentally preparing for whatever bullshit is going to happen. And I realize, oh, wait,
Right.
his body language and my body language are purely dependent on how our nervous system reacts. So if I make this like a transaction, I'm doing groceries. I'm
Mhm.
doing groceries.
Be
Guess
very
how I
friendly.
treated it. I'm doing groceries
Mhm.
and it just came. It's like how you get to the McDonald's and you're kind of late with your order. That's how I
Yeah.
treated
You
it.
kind
Like
of have to
I
go up to the table and like kind of ask, yeah, exactly that
exactly,
moment.
exactly. Or when they let you wait outside in the car, that's kind of how I treated it,
Mm.
right? And so it came up. It was like all gung ho, whatever. And I said, "Hey man, everything's fine. What do you need? Here's my dot 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 dot. Anything else? Ticket, blah blah." And I figured, you know what,
And
we
you
can
fist
stay.
bumped him too at the
And I
end. That's
fist
such a
bumped him
Ryan
at
G
the
move.
end
I swear,
because
man.
it almost felt like he was feeling guilty giving me a fine, right? He's like, "Man, this is my job. I don't really want to do
It's
it."
like you
Blah
gave him
blah.
a chance to be a young lad again or something. That's what it feels like. Like, bruh, what's up? Yeah.
It
You're
did
just
kind
doing
of
your
feel
job, you
like,
know? Like,
yeah. Did I say, bro? I get it. You're just doing your job. It's fine.
yeah,
You
that
cut
was
me fair
just
and
the entire
square.
vibe. Yeah, that
You
I
cut me
picked
fair and
up.
square. You're just here to do a
Yeah,
job. I get it. You can't
yeah.
blame the guy. Was I still pissed off weeks afterwards? Yes. That's a few hundred euros fine I got sent at some point. But it is what it is. In the moment, I applied both, setting up all the ingredients that I need to make this efficient, plus breath work.
Mm.
I knew doing like a cycle of box breathing. Just a very short cycle to catch myself. Don't get too attached to whatever the outcome is. If he lets me off with a warning, fantastic. If not, I'm ready. I can afford this. It's fine. It's just a speeding ticket. It's nothing big. It's not like I have drugs in the car. You know what I
Mm.
mean?
So there's this weird paradox of manifestation that I realized, Ryan, as you were saying that. So at
Mm.
one point we say detach from the outcome, and then in another point we say embody the outcome and feel as if it's already complete, right? So
Okay.
I think the brain it creates this weird contradiction there, this weird
Right.
split.
So, hey, double E. So my answer to that would be the same challenge I had when working with the two weakened deities, King Jin, King Gob. King Jin says, fuck everything, take action towards whatever you're trying to reach. King Gob answers, what about magnetism? What about being
Mm,
of that frequency?
right.
Both are true at the same time. Why do I say that it's the same thing with the swimming pool? You can be a part of the water, sure, but it doesn't mean you're going to reach the end of the pool, my man. You're just in the vicinity. You're still going to have to grab something. Let's say the water and I have the same frequency. I'm still thirsty. I still need to open up the ball of water and drink it myself. The spirits cannot do that for me. The frequency
Right.
itself will not do it for me. That's my
Totally.
understanding.
Hmm. Yeah. Like rituals with intention themselves can be seen as flow state triggers, according to me. So, like, for
Mhm.
instance, let's say that I do a mantra practice. Okay, I say Om Namah Shivaya, and I move my body as I'm doing it. I
Yep.
will tap into the flow state trigger of deep concentration, autonomy, immediate feedback, risk, unpredictability, all in one exercise, all in one activity. So if you hit like all 22 flow state triggers, of course you can't hit all of them in one movement, but when Ryan G here said he's going, yeah, I can.
Oh yeah, that's
So
exactly what I was thinking. Like,
yeah, yeah, no, my telepathic abilities are getting better, bro. But yeah,
anyway, you're saying.
yeah, so like there's a group flow that might bring contradictions, but let's say that we have a group intention. Like we used to have the naming of the months. I know we kind of forgot it this month of February, but to me, this was very feminine energy to me, this whole month.
Mm.
It felt very
Speaking of
like
which,
calming.
one thing I've noticed with especially our path working is whether we set an intention or not doesn't always matter because the way that we've structured uh if you want to use normie terms contractually with these deities is they already know what we need. Like yesterday I was seeing triple twos all day with my mother and I already knew like, oh, this is some feminine healing happening to me. Perfect. It was the same period after I bought my new green suit for graduation.
Yeah.
And after that, we were just constantly seeing that symbolism, so I knew in some form, be it my
Mm,
Shakti or the feminine energies of the Nexus, the Primal Sutra family, are backing me or helping me heal or getting me the downloads that I need for whatever I need. It's that simple. And that's
gotcha.
also an answer to which extent are you willing to surrender to the source, which can also be seen as a ritual, something you and the Nexus posted in the Dubs group this week, which I find very pure, very clean. Because if things will work out, oh, they will. They for sure
That's right.
will.
Mm.
So can you?
Today, Ryan G, I
Hmm.
used a frequency, the 8 hertz per second, which is flow state technically, and I
Yes.
played it for like a whole hour,
Hmm.
and I just let go of any agendas, any outcomes. And then afterwards, I felt this huge shift of consciousness. Like I was just so
Mm,
focused in. So that's a
mm,
hack. That's a hack for people. Listen to 8 hertz.
Here's another hack. Very Jordan Peterson like. Clean your room. And off of that, imagine what frequencies, or let's say not even frequencies, or themes you want to have in your living environment. For me, it would be scholarly teams, teams where I can rest, treat my bed like something sacred, something where I rest my head. No one
Right.
else
Not
is allowed.
associating with so many different things, right? If you're working on
Exactly.
your bed, for instance, your mind is getting completely
So I
fucked up.
stopped doing that. What I need to stop
Yeah.
doing is a little bit of doom scrolling in the morning and at night.
Hmm.
So that's something I'm working on. But also, I tend to mouth breathe a lot. So at night, I just tape my mouth shut and really force myself to breathe
Shut
through my
up. Just shut
nose.
up. Shut up. Yeah,
No, no, no,
yeah.
seriously. But I actually
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
what kind of tape is this called? Like
Mouth tape.
not mouth tape.
Yeah.
It's like it's like bandage like tape for medical
Mm.
tape or whatever. Just
Medical
tape it
tape,
on my
yeah.
mouth. So did it for one day. I woke up the next morning breathing in panic because I'm not used to this, and I was like, yo, when you wake up and you're in a panic and you're not used to breathing through your nose, it's tough. But this will then be my challenge for the next 90 days in order to really can I be present while not being able to breathe through my mouth.
Maybe
That's
even
gonna be
stack
tough.
it with the sinus drainage from Sapien and just
Well, it could also be that I have blocked lymph nodes somewhere in
yeah,
my body, maybe related to the sinuses that causes this again.
maybe
And
like
it's
some
getting
facial
better.
yoga or something.
Yeah, I should do that more. Oh, facial yoga, perfect. If you're a
Yeah.
consultant, you better be doing facial yoga. You better be doing yoga, period, or building a body, or doing movement, period. Movement is the lotion of the body.
Movement is medicine for real, yeah.
Movement is medicine. And let's see what happened to me. Started doing more dynamic stretching, doing that a 1990 switch for the hips, but also trying to whip myself up into a takedown motion and going back. Plus, what I do at night and in the morning is fruits, dried fruits, seeds, warm water with lime, mint, ginger, whatever in the moment. And what I'm trying to hit constantly is between 3 to 5 different fruits: banana, mandarin, kiwi, apple, dried prune, dates, whatever.
Yeah. Like having a range of them instead of like
Yes,
just
yes,
a few.
exactly.
Mhm.
And it tends to fill me up pretty quick. But then it also
Mm.
feels like I don't feel bloated. I feel I have more energy. And what I've noticed for training, I like going on a decently empty stomach, so I prepare for that. And if I want to do something ritualistic around it, I just feel into what entities want to help me in a then and there moment. And it tends to be Odin, Montu, Jin comes up
Mm.
a lot.
Mm.
And choose your deity wisely because
For
you will
sure.
get what you've asked for.
You'll get
But
checked by them, basically, yeah.
exactly,
I think that also so Mathis brought up something really interesting. This terminology he used was abortions of manifestation. So when the ego doubts, it kills the actual manifestation in a sense, right? So this is why like rituals, breath work, altered states can help us bypass like the ego's usual defenses. Rationalization, a denial, that's
exactly.
not me,
So speaking
whatever
of
it is.
defenses, to put this on a different topic, since when is Double E a moderator?
Yeah, I made her a moderator to kick people
Okay.
out.
Oh, perfect, perfect.
Yeah.
So everybody's been
222s
warned.
in Dream. Yeah. 618. Babe,
Ah,
you can try putting that into Gematria. I'll send you the website link after.
Knox
Just send
619?
put it into yeah, just 618, put it into gematria and just see what comes up. Any words or
Mm.
any, yeah, sentences. Also, you
Speaking
can
of
ask,
defense,
yeah,
speaking
your
of
guides.
defense, spiritual hygiene is we talk about it a lot, but trust me when I say um it's closer to home than you think it is. We've talked about Agent Smiths before, and after this podcast, I'll be talking with Uncle Makara about it because we have found another one with me, and this one is a little bit too close from comfort. But you, as a shaman, you, as a listener, regardless of whether you believe in this or not, not my business, but you must be selective with the people you work with. You must be. If people give you heebie-jeebies, bro, you better bring sage in your pocket, man, or something. Bring some
Yeah, you always want to be
onyx.
understanding where you're most aligned, like where
Yes,
your
yes,
baseline is. And
yes,
Mathis really said something interesting, man, like color diet, like eating according to many different colors and like chakra wise, intuitive
yes.
eating. The chakra diet, it's like eat according to your chakras.
Hmm.
Like, I think that's a great idea, actually.
Um, to an extent, to an
Very
extent,
inventive. Very
to an
inventive.
extent. It also depends how in tune you are with yourself. That's one. And two, it also depends on what you want to achieve with this. Let's say
Right.
I want to have the type of body that can handle rolling a lot over himself, which means I'm constantly crunching over myself, so my stomach is constantly just mashing into itself. That means I shouldn't be eating big meals.
Right.
However,
You should eat many small meals, probably,
many
right? Or,
small meals, so it's going to be calorie, high nutrition, like seeds
mm,
and dried fruit seems
mm,
to work very well for me.
mm. That's really cool,
Seems
man. And I think so we were talking a little bit about how like the ego basically sets us these defenses, right? These random coping mechanisms, and then it hates awareness. So when you observe these defenses and just watch them, they just dissolve,
yep.
right? So the highlighted word here is without judgment, though, because if you watch them with judgment, then you're stacking on top of the already existing thing. So the more conscious you become, the less your ego has a power over you. Let's give the audience one example, Ryan, of a ritual. And so let's say a very quick one that's coming to mind is you light some incense, maybe some sandalwood incense, and you say, I invite Ganesha to remove obstacles from my path. And then you chant his mantra 3 times. I think it's Om Ganapataye Namaha. And then you maybe offer a mango or some kind of a gesture, some symbol of kindness. Quick, swift, efficient, right? Of course, that's just a free sample. For more advanced rituals, you got to join our path working, I'm afraid. Primalsutramysteryschool.com.
Well, also a free thing, and not a lot of people know this. I would rather gift or give a tribute to an entity or God, whatever, right? From a pure place, even if it's just a shitty drawing, but I've done it in such a pure way. Let's say a very cool, dope drawing of Mahakali, right? And I offer it to her in an altar I might have made, or I burn it as tribute to her or for her, right? In my opinion, that weighs more than insincerely chanting her mantra 108 times. It's the same thing when you're dancing, it's the same thing when you're drilling techniques, it's the same thing when you're making love. Your partner can tell when you're not present. You can tell, like you're somewhere else. You kind of have to stand, like, hey, bro, I'm here, right? So when you're doing rituals, especially as tribute or you're requesting something, You must be with them. It must come from a very sincere place. And if let's say you cannot be sincere. Feel in your body how it would feel to be sincere. Same thing for gratitude when I do gratitude walks, etc. If I can't feel it, I can't muster it up, then I just try to feel how it feels. Mimic it.
Mm,
And by mimicking it, I jumpstart it.
mm. Ito's got a good question. He says, is relapsing an issue with the ego? Is impulsive or undisciplined ego a damage or corruption of one's existence? Um, it definitely
Hmm.
can be, especially because the masculine need for orgasm is a need for oneness, a need for connection again. So you might just need to reconnect with your own relaxation, your own sense of
Hmm.
relief, right? Like that, like letting go. Definitely, I
Hmm.
would say work on letting go.
Relapsing. How many days am I on? Do 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 do
No
do do
idea,
do
Angie.
do do
Hey,
do
it's
do
Samba.
do.
Let's
Hey,
go.
Samba.
Upward spiral.
I am
You know,
96
Samba was
days.
wasn't Samba's associated with Krishna? It was like a nickname or
Not a
yeah.
clue. When I hear samba, I think of Brazilian dance and some fine thing, shake her ass. So, it is what it is. Anyway, I'm fucking around with samba. So my answer to get a planet is based on how I've experienced it. I must learn to understand why I relapsed. But before that, I must also realize what happens when I relapse and how I feel afterwards. It's like that three-state spectrum of before, within, post. Or yeah, post.
During and then after, yeah.
And yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
And I must get to know myself. And the times that I relapsed, I was too stressed. I was worn out. I didn't give myself a different outlet to express myself or to let go of sexual tension in different ways or being contact with multiple women and etc. Even if it's just dancing or getting a massage, right? Or maybe it's
It could
it's
even be
doing
like
more.
relapse of like an addiction or like some other thing
Oh,
where we
that
don't
one
want to
is
just bring it
tough
primarily towards, no, semen retention
because
only, but yeah,
I have it now with sugar. That's my next challenge, and it's tough. It's
it is tough.
so
Yeah.
tough because it's so ingrained. So before I go full court turkey, instead of taking artificial sugars, I replace all of that with fruits and dried fruits and whatever. And if you want sugar a lot, you might have a magnesium deficiency, possibly zinc. And I make sure I have those
Micronutrient
winning.
deficiencies, man. Like there's this secret, it's like a hidden poison, for all of us,
It is, it
for
is. I
real.
mean, how cruel is it that our ancestors used to eat fruits and if they tasted sweet, it was edible. And now it's exactly the opposite in some way, where if it tastes too
Yeah,
sweet, that's a bad
undigestible
sign.
stuff. Yeah, for real. Nowadays, everything is unprocessed and really hard to digest. But yeah, Samba says there's a few meanings of the name. It's Vedic. I was one of Krishna's sons who stole a princess against her will to save her from an evil dynasty. That's
I
dope.
mean, I mean,
It's
man,
me, Mario.
I mean, sometimes say the girls don't know better.
Mm,
Another example of that would be the last season of Samurai Jack. It
mm.
would be a very big example where he's trying to save one of the Aku's daughters after he pretty much killed all everyone else.
Damn. That's a
And you
tough
remember that
one.
scene, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
such
yeah, yeah. It's an old episode, yeah.
means
Mm,
it means
mm.
son of mother. Of course, Samba,
Son of mother.
son of
Oh,
mother.
of the
Huh?
Divine Mother. Yeah.
Probably, yeah. Thank you, Samba. Um, Samurai Jack is a must watch. Just
Absolutely.
when it comes to
Absolutely.
applied
It's
discipline
goaded.
in absolute chaos,
Hmm.
somehow he's not merely rigid. He becomes his own thing, but he adapts. And he gets tempted a lot and he loses a few times, which makes him a very interesting protagonist. The thing is, they're in the fourth season, all portals were destroyed by Aku. And then they had
You
like
wasn't
a
Aku the ultimate manifestation of ego? Like, wasn't that the
technically
thing?
yes.
That's amazing.
So per my
That's so amazing.
understanding, it's when the
And it's a
darkness
time
was
traveler, so it's like a the ego time travels to fucking, stay in the past and future, not in the now. Whoa, fuck.
well,
That's
that's funny
deep.
because Jack would be trapped in the now while he's trying to
Right.
go back to the past. And the
Mm.
irony of it all is Aku wanted him to die of old age, seeing how he couldn't kill him. The problem is, seeing season 5, which was a hilarious scene, he just won't die. Meanwhile, Samurai Jack loses himself in the conquest of finding a new portal, finding his sword, and killing Aku.
Yeah, that's
And
a paradigm
when,
shift, right? Like parallel lives, not past lives, says TXL. Yeah,
well said,
definitely.
Tixel. Yeah, because what
The
if the
one,
moment
yeah,
he
Jet Li.
enters a new timeline, the old one dies so that the other one can continue? I don't know, I'm just saying
Mm.
this could happen. That being said,
That's
when
amazing.
did he get his sword back? Samurai Jack. He got his sword back during the scene when he was having the tea ceremony. The tea master said his tea tasted like shit, tasted horrible, which was hilarious to me. And then his ego came up because he was
Yeah,
having
I remember that
PTSD,
episode.
right? What a great scene. We're not gonna show it because, fucking copyright. Uh, but we can talk about it.
That's right.
And you have his ego going completely nuts, being completely malformed and aggressive. And there's a point where Samurai Jack faces his ego again and says, "No, this is your fault. You led us astray." And they get into a fight. And at some point, Jack shines and slaps the ego away or something. And the last thing the ego says is, "You need me." That's a scary thing. Because that's the same thing I felt when Brad pulled out that astral
Centipede.
centipede from my organs. I felt it was
11
calling out.
11.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I started with this part is scary. That he pulled it out of me. And I felt like my body was convulsing by itself. The moment the ego becomes a dictator, it is no longer within my control. That's what she said. It's no longer within within my control. The ego is to facilitate. It's my facilitator. It's here to help me survive. The moment it takes over, it's no longer in my control. It no longer benefits me.
And he
So
uses
that's
so many tricks, right?
uh,
Like, it's not
it,
that bad, bro. Or like projection, or like over intellectualization, or like self-sabotage.
the ego knows you better than you know yourself. And the only,
Mm.
at least the way I've seen it with me is the only way I win is not to play his game. Because if I
Well,
play
it's
his
interesting,
game,
Ryan. Like,
what's up?
what's coming up for me is the word ego, used by R.L. Spina, was ego, mind, identity. So he clumped all of the words together. So the ego is the mind, the ego is your identity, right? And it's also EMI, and EMI is electromagnetic interference. So that means your thoughts and emotions are constantly coming in to create blockages for you. Whereas if you remain in pure awareness, then you can actually take action on those thoughts and emotions.
Speaking of action, should Ghetto Planet do some blood work to see if his hormones are okay?
Ito? Um,
Ghetto or Ghetto Planet?
what was the question, Ryan? Does he need what?
Should Ghetto Planet get some blood work done regarding his hormones? Because the moment he wrote that down, I was like,
Hmm.
I'm getting suspicious. Something's up. And it might just be my imagination, but
I would always suggest going to endocrinologist, bro, and just like getting your blood work done because then you can actually see your progress, see your change.
get it
And but
checked
also
out, Ghetto.
it tells you where you're at on the map. You know
Mm,
what I mean? So
mm.
if you're deficient in something, you'll know. You know, if you're not,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
let's say
Take
you're
no risks.
deficient in something, you work on that. You know, push forward.
Now I don't
Mine
know.
used to be super low. It used to be like 220, bro.
Oh
Now
yeah.
it's like in 1,000 range, I think, but or
You
something
know,
close
I've
maybe.
never done blood work. I should really figure out how to do it here in the Netherlands. When
In
it's time
Netherlands,
in the
yeah.
Netherlands. But hey, I eat clean.
Mm.
I fast. We'll see what happens.
I need to also redo mine, yeah,
Hmm,
to
hmm,
check
hmm,
what's
hmm,
going
hmm.
on. Yeah. Also the
Any
micronutrient test, like if you do that, I haven't done that one
uh
yet, but I think that's so powerful.
so
Literally
Samba's
doing this
doing
right
it right
now, but
now.
yeah, amazing, amazing. We're all aligned towards this 888 frequency. Yep, it is what it is. Basic should no let no denigrated lest demons mess with you for the question of the group. Many males have that mofos around and made unconscious contracts you shall rebuke, else you will loop and stay in lower frequencies. Yeah, yeah. Remove all unconscious contracts and implants and different things that are set up for you that was not set up by you in a sense. It was set up by
Yes,
either your ancestors or it was some weird handler situation. Figure it
this
out.
could happen. Hmm.
That's why we're here to help, you know?
Yeah, yeah. If I feel a little bit angry, something else happened before this
No, it's
regarding.
the energy. It's the energy that I'm chiming into right now. It's
Okay,
Janus.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Does that make
Is
more
that a,
sense?
okay? Is that the reason I'm seeing phantoms outside my window?
No. That's a different story.
Okay, well, I guess I have homework after this podcast. Wonder what that's about.
Home
Focus.
play, Ryan. It's not even work at this point for us.
I mean, I could just set a Akura, but it's also like, am I using a Akura to? Oh, right. I can't believe I got this one. Devouring beings. Technically, you could see Akura, who is technically an aspect of the Aboriginal rainbow snake of Australia. He is a weather deity. I just never use him for weather rituals, like at all.
You
Like
did in New Zealand though, when you made it rain.
like one
Yeah.
time, he stopped the rain
Yeah.
for like half an hour, which was
Yeah. We
very
stopped a bit, right?
unnerving for me because it feels like I shouldn't be doing this, right? It feels
Yeah.
criminal. It's like, and then the sun shined, and I was like, what? I could use you for, I can employ you for this? Okay. Um,
Mm,
I use devouring beasts to devour phantoms, ghouls, goblins, maybe trolls if he's into it, etc. Any entity or energies that's stuck on human beings which causes them to be assholes towards me or my family or the adepts
mm.
requested, they will be destroyed within a matter of time.
Yeah, feed your root chakra, guys. That's a great advice. So usually your chakra is linked to something very connected to nature, very primal. So if you find your main root chakra deity and you start understanding that that energy can be used as a devouring
Hmm.
energy, then yeah,
Well,
it's
if
very
that's the
powerful.
case, mine would be a jaguar and a leopard, right?
Escalapoca. Yeah.
Jaguars, let's get it, are tend to eat of the tree that produces of which is made ayahuasca.
Mm,
So
right.
I'm just guessing that the moment I do ayahuasca in whatever form, whatever safe form, something's gonna open up between the relationship between the deity and myself. That's also likely the same reason why Chief Deno requests me for me to eat a lot of ground food like cassava,
Mhm.
like different potatoes, sweet potato, great potatoes, also a thing, just to make
Sweet
sure
potatoes are
that,
amazing. Yeah,
yeah, right.
straight up.
But I'm not a big fan of cooking them. Anyway,
Mm.
um, so according to Double E, we've been already running on 40 minutes. Kim Jong-un, hilarious. We have Kim Jong-un, everybody.
Kim
Uh,
Jong-un is here. Yeah, let's go.
yeah,
Upward spiral.
we are
All
not
right,
Dennis
so
Rodman. Anyway,
let's go
uh,
through Guido's question first. So he says, I heard a lot of dating coaches and health experts saying those shameful independent activities are healthy, but it's shameful for a reason. I found it hard. I had a hard time finding direction in my life. It feels like I'm being disrupted or not aligned. When I maintained sobriety and abstained from certain activities, brain fog was very frequent. Yeah, it
mm,
might be a block in one of your five bodies, brother, right? It could be an energetic
possibly.
block, it could be a spiritual block. You have to test that with us. So,
Yes, or you could take action on it. That's also a thing. There's never just one way. So, what I
right,
would recommend is, and this is my opinion, by the way, if I feel I have a traumatic response to something, let's say buying a suit, which happened Saturday, it might not be the right time to buy it. So the next day, I prepped myself mentally and just forced myself to go there. And then I kept asking myself the question of, what is this relating to? And immediately it was very clear, oh, this is a self-worth thing. So why am I making this about proving myself instead of having fun? So that's why I double checked with you, Uncle Makara, muscle tested it, and it became very clear, like, bro, I might as well go to a spa, so you treat it as such. So go well dressed. They're there to be of service. Get the fancy car, drive, have a good time. And the service was fantastic because it's cool. So when it comes to the whole POA thing, this is purely my opinion. Can you find your fulfillment in that? If the answer is yes, perfect. If you cannot, then either there's something else in the way, and I recommend you do a lot of shadow work regarding this because it takes a very high level of character to be ethical in this art form,
right.
in my opinion.
And Guido, you can also put in your astrology into ChatGPT and then basically have it give you an answer for what to do with your main
That's a
shadows.
that's a good point. That's a
So
good point. Yeah.
that's going to really help you just crystallize the main shadows really quick, and then from there you can just work with that main energy that's blocking you. Yeah. Kim Jong-un says, do you still use Subliminal Club? Yes, I do, brother. The main one that I use, and I also support my clients to use this, is Sanguine ZP. It's for basically getting you into a better mood. It's great for reframing and like actually catching the negative thoughts and flipping them around. Just
Yes.
reframing. It's just powerful.
Yes.
That's what I've been continuously using and a couple of other ones, man. Yeah. Ryan, do you have any favorites,
Mm.
subs from Sub Club?
Club. Dream Seeds, Quantum K. I know I'm forgetting someone. Supreme with the different lettering, which is
No,
very
you're just meaning
Syrian.
sublim like the ones we use, the MP3s, the ZP files,
Oh,
and the
oh.
yeah, yeah,
Unleash the Beast.
nice. Oh, he's
Unleash
yeah,
the
you're
Beast.
using Love Bomb, Art of Happiness. Cool, awesome,
I
perfect.
use the combination of Unleash the Beast before I go train or
Oh
work
yeah,
out, and then Inner
yeah,
Beast when I'm cooling down in
Keeps
combination
within, yeah.
with nitro oxide subliminal on a different
Ooh, that's a
right,
really good
because
idea.
that you have like the
Yeah.
combination of the
Alpha wave
spiritual and
production,
mental,
yeah.
and then you have the body releasing enough of the right hormones to make sure the muscles relax properly.
Also,
Plus, now
great
that I think
alpha
about
wave
it,
hack. Yeah, go ahead.
infrared light
Oh
afterwards,
man, my
and
favorite
the
right
more
here.
when I think about it, an ice pack
Oh, did I drop
plus,
something? Oh.
I have the same one, yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
and as well, I'd also recommend magnesium oil or lotion for your armpits and your armpits, whatever, armpits, neck, feet, anywhere where you have
Sea salt
uh,
spray for your hair,
sea
but also
salt
for your
spray. Yeah,
skin. Like, yeah, amazing.
yeah. So that's that. I reckon my
Oh
life.
yeah, the alpha wave hack I was thinking of, Ryan, is beetroot juice. I don't know if you guys have ever tapped into it, but it's a great one to just prime you for creating more nitric oxide, which
Mm,
in turn produces more alpha waves in the brain.
yeah.
A really good one. Maybe even like pre-workout, post-workout makes your pee red. Thank you for the
Well,
factoid, so
thanks for
yeah.
that, man. I never wanted something so badly in my life.
Uh,
Let's
also
read
go
the
to sauna
comments as
steam
well.
room. Yes, sauna's great. Yeah.
Geto says trauma responsive. It does feel like a response to issues, but I want to overcome my past traumas. Maybe I haven't been addressing it properly. I mean, it's likely,
Right.
Ghetto, it's likely, but the thing is, you must be willing to just sit with it. It's never comfortable. Must be willing to sit with it. Imagine you being a shaman, right? And your emotions, your responses are a lake of fire, and you're on a rock and you meditate. It's that scene from Avatar the Airbender when you have Zuko. I know not Zuko. I'm remembering correctly, one of the firebenders, and he has some, so some fire mudra, and he's just centering himself. And as he breathes in and out, the flame goes in and out, and he's centering himself on a
Right.
specific scene, and it's hurting him, but he knows he needs to do that. And he centers himself, becomes present, completely
It's
present
like
in the
yin
moment.
yang. I'm
So,
wearing the yin yang as a clothing right style right now, but I'm just
and
thinking of that.
oh,
Yeah.
this is a good one. Last week I went to the new club because my friend
Hmm.
my no-gi coach went to another club, and of course I went with him. And me being ever the flirt, I started to flirt with the cashier, right? And that's who I am. As I'm flirting, I'm guessing she's Indian, like Hindu or whatever. And I'm saying it, but I don't know why she got so fucking offended. And I'm just rolling with the punches like, anyway, my answer to rejection is literally the word anyway. And I just continue like, and I just fucking ignore it.
Yeah.
Because what's she's going to do? Walk away from the desk? That's dumb.
Clear
Eh,
path to, anyway. Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
fucking,
Right.
let's pretend it didn't happen.
Right.
But I can pull it off because I'm always joking.
Hmm. You
Um,
have to stay playful.
you have to. That's my style. I
Yeah,
like
Ellie's definitely
playful.
right. We can be above our zodiac. Not a lot of people know this, but we can actually transcend our actual astrology. Yeah. Very true. Very true.
Thank
I
you,
mean,
Double
I
E.
look at it as a map, man. I'm not like an astrology, whiz kid or something. I just use all these things as a map. And then once I understand the map is not the territory, right? Just like the menu is not the meal, or the movie trailer is not the movie, I understand that I have to play in that lane. Like if I want to truly be in my own movie, I have to know where the transitions are, what's act one, scene one, act one, scene two.
Yeah.
you have it all mapped out because your higher self already does, you know? So yeah, you're just chiming in each day to this
Hmm.
frequency and you're just bringing it down, you're grounding it down.
However, however, the con of that is merely meditating. Meditation is not enough. You must be in the field, which
Mm,
fits perfectly with the armchair is the practice. The armchair wouldn't get it. If you go out, let's say within the dating scene, and let's say you're going to do Latin dancing, right? You can
mm,
practice all you want at in your mind, but if you don't go actually dance salsa with a proper teacher that can show you the fundamentals, you're not really going to have the refined sense of movement. Secondly,
mm,
you need to go out every once in a while and go to some Latin clubs and actually have the balls or ovaries to ask someone to dance and do it properly. Will you get rejected? Yeah. I remember one time, I believe it was like 25. I literally in my head made a challenge like, okay, I'm gonna ask every girl here to dance. And it was like a whole lot of women that rejected me. And in my head, I'm just finding myself trying just stay in whatever pocket of confidence that you have, man. Whatever
mm.
pocket of confidence that you
That's a good
have,
challenge. That's the
stay in
ego
that. Oh, it was
crushing
so
challenge.
tough. Oh, I
Yeah.
was dying on the inside. I just going pop, 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 pop. I think I went to 10 or 13 women and then finally someone said, okay. And then we had a great dance for like half an hour. And oh, suddenly everybody wants to dance with me. Oh, I don't know what the fuck that was about. All
Well,
the
it's
other
social proof, right? So it's like you're seen
yeah,
with
because you
another
had
girl, and then more, yeah,
isn't it
that's
always the
bound to happen.
same?
It's just
Isn't it
psychology,
always the
yeah.
same? It's just fucking
Yeah.
mean. Oh, first you're single, no nobody wants you, and then you go every fucking shit, like little.
Yeah.
I have one crazy person to deal with you anyway.
And it's an influence your free will rules all, just energies of your ego blueprint. Maybe a collective, yeah, collective consciousness, maybe that we all have.
To double
Nobody
E,
ever invited me to dance. I'll ask you to dance, babe.
I mean, have you considered just
Would I
breakdancing
have
and
this honor? Like you know how you used to slow
stop?
dance in your middle school
Anyway,
like this,
anyway.
like barely touching.
Oh
Oh
no, I
man.
come from a completely different era where I was slow
Oh, you
dancing
came
very
from like
close.
the bachata, yeah, world. But yeah,
Well, well, I'll tell you,
maybe not
this
that
is
young, right? When did you start dance?
13,
Okay, so pretty young.
pretty young.
Ego pressure cooker. Get the adequate energy work in. Fearlessness requires faith. I like that.
Okay,
Fearlessness
so my
requires faith.
answer, pressure cooker.
You can't think yourself out of fear. Sorry,
Absolutely,
not sorry.
you,
Mm,
you must face it in whatever form. There's
mm,
certain things you just can't bypass. It's
mm,
like it's something is gonna keep you at that level until you decide to break through it.
mm.
Ghetto, like Zodiac, fit into the idea of I must escape this world, reality, or Loka by any means. So it's mentally unwell. Okay, so I don't like my natal chart all that much because it kind of says, because it kind of initially it kind of sounded like, oh, I'm gonna be destined for to be mediocre all my life, and I was like, nah.
Right.
If I
It's
can't
like
be the
if you
best at
decide
everything,
nah, then that's what you'll get. You know what I
so
mean?
so it's
It's
just like a
kind of the
Chinese
thing.
saying or something, right? I don't know what it exactly is,
Mm,
but let's say the teacher can give you 5 stars, but you only get
right.
2. Well, baby girl, I'll draw my own stars and make it gold with sparkles,
Mm,
right? The world may decide that I might be worth only 2 stars, but here's the thing: I can add 3 more by myself. Thanks. That's kind
yeah,
of what I live
it's
by.
like self-rating yourself on a Yelp review. It's like it's
Yeah,
like
but
that.
also, I want to back it up as well. Because here's
hmm
another aspect of it. This is exactly the reverse. In order to be confident first, I must be skillful. But in order to have skill, I must have time on the mats whatever that means. The math could mean the JoJo, it could mean my job, it could mean public speaking, whatever. So let's imagine my zodiac sign. Cheated weaknesses as a test, exactly. Because the weaknesses could be, lifting weights. Lifting heavy weights is fucking heavy. That's why they're heavy weights, right?
You just got to reframe that, Guido. Like, don't go buy into that. I must escape this world or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, just reframe it. It's transcendence. Like, or just be like, yeah, I have a tendency for that, but that's not my reality. Like, you got to decide.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Treat your weaknesses as your
Ah,
tests. Exactly. Yeah.
remember when I had a hard time with the fact that I couldn't get my blue belt after 5 years or something? And then I
Yeah.
mentally imagined myself, okay, how would Ryan be as a blue belt? And I asked the next is the family, and we kind of had a rough narrative. And then I bought a lot of blue gear, like a blue bottle, a blue rash guard set,
That's called
etc.
immersion, by the way, in Primal
Like,
Sutra,
yeah,
where you just fully just let go into that world. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and they
Hmm.
just completely just go into it. So every time I was faced with a very rough grappling situation, I just kept asking myself, okay, what would the blue belt version of me do? Sometimes it would be okay, accept defeat, learn from it. Other times it would be fuck this shit. You want to be tough? I'll be tougher. I'll figure something out. I'll be like a honey badger or something, right? And now it becomes that I have my blue belt. How would the purple belt version react? It would be more athletic,
Yeah.
more explosive, and
Or maybe even think
time
of the
might
belt beyond that looks at the belt previous to then the belt now.
exactly
It's
right.
like, fuck, there's so
Exactly.
much you
It's
can
a
do
new
with your
level, right?
imagination. Yeah, totally. Totally. All right, let's wrap it up. I think there's a
Yeah, yeah.
few last things. Let's just go through. Yeah.
Last things would be one together. Please join the Monday free sessions, or again, you choose to stay stuck. Again, like even Eminem had many masters, many teachers, even though he's a high school dropout. His path was hip hop, and he chose his masters. He chose to study under many teachers in order
Absolutely.
to refine his craft. And just because you have been dealt seemingly shit hand doesn't mean you can't use it.
You
That's one.
gotta
Two.
learn to
Samba, I
optimize
hope.
it. Yeah.
Exactly. Samba, I hope to see you on the Monday sessions as well. See if you have time. If you want some of the recordings, become an adept, and ask.
Word.
I'm also the other side of Primal Sutra, goddammit. Anyway, anything else? We're going to Sedona. It's
Mm.
likely going to be in August, but we have yet to decide within the next.
Lionsgate would be pretty cool though. Yeah,
If we can
I'm
be in
feeling that.
Sedona on the 8th of 8th, so I would say if um beginning of August being in Sedona, so somehow we land there, book a nice place. I don't know how expensive it is, and just get it there and be there. We could just chill in Sedona for like 1 or 2 weeks, and then either disperse or start road tripping around. That would be cool. Sedona, let's
Totally.
do it. All right. Um.
Yeehaw! Samba Joey was in our first event in Bali, and he
Oh,
loved.
he knows Joey.
Yeah, that's Joey. Yeah, that's Joey's friend.
Oh,
Samba's
bro,
Joey's friend.
bro,
Joey's Samba's
bro.
friend.
That was one of the best 10 days of that year, man. It was fun. It was
Absolutely.
fun. Next stream Monday. The next. Well, you're gonna have to
The
join
next podcast is Wednesdays. No, the next podcast
next
is
channeling.
Mondays. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the
The
channeling
next
will be just
channeling is Wednesdays. Yeah, channeling
we
will be
kind of
on
moved it
Wednesdays.
around because
We
Uncle
changed it.
Makara uh uses Wednesdays as a communication day, especially with the deities. It makes it easier, and I also recommend that if you do live streams, etc., Wednesday is the day of Mercury. It's also the day of
Mm.
Odin. It's also the day of Vision. Yada yada yada. Do what thou must. Anything else? May your life never be the same again. Demonstrate high character at all times. Life will punish you, but here's the thing: you can always choose to get back up and punch back.
Mm. Let's go upward spiral. May the flow be with